Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream, to tonight's Doctor Who live stream for Series 12 Episode 8, which is The Haunting of Villa Diodati, I think is the way to pronounce it. The Mary Shelley episode, the episode that has been rumoured for so long, and I remember reading about it at the time that it was first rumoured and thought that is a good story. The idea of that having something to do with Cybermen is a great idea. And it happened. It happened. We've got a few people in the chat already saying hello. We've got Sean Roach saying Doctor Who rocks. Galaxy Amber, hi James. Hi Galaxy Amber. Jonathan Vlogs, didn't think it was that good. Interesting. I'd like to hear why. James Alexander. Hey, first time I've managed to make it to one of these discussions. Well, welcome to the family. Welcome to the fam. Vinnie Harris. Loved that speech by Jodie. Truly showed the burden of making difficult decisions. Kudos to the atmosphere of the episodes too. JB Vlogs. Yo. Vinnie Harris, when that Cyberman mentioned slitting the throats of his children, it was truly disturbing. Jude H certainly enjoyed this week. James Alexander, a terrific episode, really well written, so I hope they bring the writer back for next series. Interesting discussions there already. Interesting points made in the chat. Carry on commenting. If you are just tuning in, then please do feel free to leave a comment in the chat. I read them throughout the live stream, and it allows us to be able to have a kind of discussion. Rather than me just saying what I thought, we can actually discuss it. Firstly, before I start anything else, I'll say what I always say. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you like this kind of thing, you like live streams, you like vlogs, anything like that, feel free to subscribe. It would be great to have you as a subscriber and to be able to see you in the chat every single week as well, because it's really nice to have that continuity where I can hear what you guys think, and I remember what you guys thought last week and the week before. So it's nice to hear from you. I'll give it a couple of minutes before I start really delving into it, just in case anybody else wants to join in. I like to give it a few minutes just to start getting people in. I'm glad to hear what you guys think of it. I've made quite a few points about the episode, and I'll just briefly explain on how this live stream works. So every Sunday, half an hour after the episode of Doctor Who has been on, I sit down here live, and I discuss what I thought was really good about the episode, what I thought was not so good about the episode, what I really, really liked about the episode, and my overall thoughts, and potentially some discussions about what next week could bring, etc, etc, and talk just to you guys in the chat and see what you guys thought and sort of have a bit of a discussion. James Alexander, brilliantly acted as well, I thought. A great performance from Jodie. Doc_11, hey James, hello. I have to say, all those callbacks and the parallel between Frankenstein and the Cyberman, which I didn't see coming, were so obvious and brilliant. I am speechless. And the spooky theme. Cyber16, have you heard the rumour that apparently Maxine Alderton, this episode's writer, may be co-showrunner alongside Chibnall in Series 13? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't hear that rumour. But I agree with you. After that episode, yeah, cool. I don't mind. She was very good, I thought. Toxic, hello. Welcome to the chat. So I'm just going to start now. It seems like we've got a fair few people watching. Like I said, comment throughout. I like to hear what you've got to say, whether you agree with my opinion, whether you disagree with my opinion. I'll start by saying that I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really good, a really, really good episode. I felt that it was kind of like the Dalek, Series 1's Dalek for Cybermen. I always think that some of these villains, they kind of ruin them by having too many of them all at once. And actually, sometimes it's more scary to just have one Dalek in Resolution. Dalek in Series 1's Dalek, and I thought that this worked really well, especially the shots where the Cyberman was sort of walking around. The bit when the woman and the baby were hiding under the floorboards, I thought, wow, like this works really, really well. So I did feel that it was kind of like the Dalek for Cybermen, which is a massive, massive compliment, because Dalek is probably the best Dalek episode. What did I really like about it? I liked how it wasn't revealed to be Cybermen straight away, or to be a Cyberman straight away. The build-up was genuinely tense. It reminded me of The Woman in Black, if you've seen that film. And it wasn't revealed that the Cyberman was going to be in this episode. It was rumoured, but it wasn't revealed. And I was kind of on the fence going into it. I thought, at first, before last week's Next Time trailer, I thought, yeah, it's a Cyberman. It's the lone Cyberman is in the Mary Shelley story. And then they released the trailer, which didn't have a Cyberman in it, and didn't mention Cybermen. And the fact that the title was The Haunting, I thought, okay, maybe it's a ghost episode, because Doctor Who's done ghost episodes before. And I kind of went into it with that mindset. I didn't want to be disappointed. So I went into it with the mindset that it could be the lone Cyberman, but it also couldn't be. And for the first 10 minutes or so, I genuinely thought it wasn't. There was a moment when they mentioned the fact that Mary Shelley's husband or fiance or boyfriend couldn't join them. And I thought, that's interesting. I thought, could he be the lone Cyberman? Which obviously didn't turn out to be true, but was in the ballpark. But I just really liked the build-up, because it almost made me think, no. I mean, I don't know how far into the episode it was revealed, but it felt like quite a way into the episode. Let's see what you guys have got to say. Doc_11, I couldn't quite focus on the plot because that one actor was hot. I'm actually mad at myself. Also, 13 doesn't want to lose another companion to the Cybermen, cries in Mondasian Bill. I know. Vinnie Harris, Lord Byron was entertaining. Jonathan Vlogs, this wasn't my favourite Cyberman story, but it's one of my favourite stories from the Whittaker era. Yeah, easily. Vinnie Harris, I'm still trying to figure out the significance of the ghostly woman and the little girl. I thought at the end they were going to be like, what? What did you see? And it was going to kind of like relate to something else, or it was going to be like, wait, what's happening with Graham? Something's happening with Graham. And they kind of brushed it off. I think it was meant to be a bit like a little nod towards, okay, maybe ghosts are real. Angela Bennett, I thought this episode was great, especially the tough decision the Doctor had to make and the companions seeing that side of her. Yeah, I agree. Cyber16, so ghosts now canon in the Whoniverse. I'm cool with this, and I feel like this has probably been proposed before somewhere in the expanded media, but what are your thoughts? I don't mind it. I don't mind it, because it doesn't definitively say it, and I always used to be a bit annoyed the fact that Doctor Who used to be like, nah, ghosts aren't real. So I kind of like the idea that it's a bit, maybe they are. Power King, pathetic. Is that what you think of the episode? Doc_11, maybe the woman and the child are also an echo from the future, so victims of the upcoming cyber wars, but their clothes wouldn't fit for that. I did think that, but you're right about the clothes. You've got a good point there. I don't know. I feel that it maybe just served the purpose of potentially hinting that ghosts are real. It could turn out to be something else. I don't know. Power King felt like it was just part one to the finale, not its own episode. I think it kind of worked as its own episode. Towards the end, obviously, it led into the finale, but I think it was kind of similar to Utopia, where it isn't really part one of a three-part finale, but it kind of also is. It ties in. I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. I could probably watch it on its own still, and without watching the finale following it. Yeah. So what else did I like? I liked the story. The story without the Cyberman was really good. I loved the house moving. That was a really clever idea, especially when the Doctor realised that the walls weren't really there and it was kind of changing. I thought that was a really, really interesting idea. And I thought, wow, this is sort of high sci-fi stuff, like the sort of thing you could see in a Moffat episode, and I liked it. It wasn't too confusing, but it was really interesting. I liked the idea of the Doctor saying, close your eyes. And the fact that she was talking through the fireplace as well, I thought was a really, really clever idea. Something pretty small, but a really cool idea. The characters were written well. I didn't warm to Mary Shelley as much as I did Nikola Tesla's character earlier in the series, but I felt that she kind of served her purpose. I felt like her purpose was, above all else, to set up the finale, although it does tie in nicely with her writing Frankenstein. But I thought her purpose was fulfilled. I just didn't think her character was as likeable as Nikola Tesla. But then again, it wasn't necessarily an episode about Mary Shelley. She was just in it. Cyber 16, the Sarah Jane adventures implied ghosts existed in the Eternity Trap. Yes, I remember that. After the villain was defeated, we still seen some of the ghosts in the house. Yeah. I kind of like it when they leave it on a bit of an unknown rather than definitive. Jonathan Vlogs, finally I have a doctor speech for 13. It was sad and all I had seen in my head was Bill. Yeah, I know. 13 fearing that Yaz, Ryan or Graham could end up being converted. Love the direction, special effects and the acting was thumbs up. Vinnie Harris, I liked seeing how, although the Doctor has companions, she's relatively alone when it comes to certain things. Yeah, that was nice. The fact that she talked about that mountain and she was saying, I am the peak and I am on my own and I have to make decisions on my own, I thought was really nice. And sad at the same time. Sebastian Sparks, maybe Graham has his cancer back in his brain and seeing the girls were a hallucination and that's a symptom of his cancer back. It could be. That's going very dark though. I don't feel that they will do that, but it could be. I did kind of hope when he said that at the end that they'd be like, what? And that would be then another thing to think about, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. Doc_11, I thought of Utopia 2. I guess Jack will be pissed that 13 didn't listen. The moving villa reminded me of the heart of the TARDIS. Actually, thought the house is a TARDIS. That's a clever idea, actually. Yeah, it is. It was done better than Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. But yeah, I agree. It was nice. I thought it was really good. What else did I like? I liked the Cyberman design. I really liked the Cyberman design, the big handles. I liked the voice. They seemed to have changed the voice slightly for the Cybermen. And it had Mondasian arms, did it not? It might have had other Mondasian bits. I swear the arms, or at least one of them. I think a leg as well. It had like the little metal strips. And it made me think, maybe it's like a mixture of the Cybermen designs, because I know that it's got the handles from like the 80s sort of design, it's got the face of the modern design. So maybe it's more than just them two together. Maybe it is more of an amalgamation of all the different Cybermen designs. I don't know. Skinner 21. When I was young and saw Cybermen for the first time, I was scared of them, and now I was scared of this one. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. James Alexander. Considering Chibnall doesn't have the greatest track record of all time, I'm kind of worried that it'll mess up the finale after such an incredible episode and setup. I have faith. Someone commented on last week's live stream, big long paragraph, and they said that they're not sure whether to trust Chibnall with the finale. I don't really count the Battle of Ranskorav Kolos as a finale. I'm willing to forgive him for that. It feels like he's learnt his lesson. It feels like he knows now, he's considered what works better. I'm holding my judgment. I think it could be good. I really, really do. I can't pronounce your name. It begins with F. I'm just going to call you F. The Moving Villa reminded me of a Fifth Doctor story, I know that episode. I haven't watched it. I recognise the name. I can't pronounce it though. Sebastian Sparks. Also, what would you rate the episode out of 10? I'd say 8. I would say a solid 8 or 9. Let's go for an 8.5, which I think is my highest rated episode of this series so far. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. There aren't really many things, without being nitpicky, that I don't like about it. Obviously, it might go down in your estimations when the two-part finale, if the two-part finale isn't good. But we'll see. For now, 8.5 I'll say. F says it's an 8 from them. Jacoba de Roek. The flesh part of the Cyberman face reminded me a lot of Danny Pink. Yeah, I agree. As a Cyberman, it disgusted me. It was good. I liked it. James Alexander, 9 out of 10 for me. Best episode of Whiskers era so far. I would say it is one of the best, if not the best. Jonathan Vlogs says that my gran said, wow, how different the Cybermen when she was watching it in the 60s to now 2020. Yeah, I mean, it is a big difference. Doc_11, the Cybermen are even scarier. If you watch, if you can still see the human form, yeah, I agree. The incomplete robot with both emotions and brutality is just horrific. Loved this. Yeah, I'm glad that we're all on the same page. It seems like a lot of you liked it. What else did I like about it? My final thing that I really liked, I love that it leads into the finale. It's just nice to have that story arc. The fact that the Cyberman was there and she said Cyberman and they were like, wait, Jack said the lone Cyberman. And when she was saying Jack's not here, and it all leads through, and it's so nice and it's so satisfying. It's like bookends. It's so nice to just have it weave through, and it just works. I don't know why they got rid of it for Series 11, but it just works so much better. Skinner says 9.5. Blimey. Power King, I wanted it to be a ghost so much that I'd give it a 6.25 for trying. Fair enough. JB Vlogs, I hope that the finale is as good as this episode was. Is good. This episode was scary, yeah. I can tell Doctor Who Poop will do a thing with Ryan on the piano. Yeah, probably. A good point, actually. Yeah, I love that it leads into the finale. I just think that works so much better. And it just feels like we're actually coming to the end of the series. It feels nice. It makes me excited for the next part, which is what its purpose is. So that's good. I struggle to say anything bad about the episode. Like I said, without being nitpicky, I'd struggle. The only thing I could think when I was making notes was potentially too many side characters. I'd say that a lot of Mary Shelley's friends were a little bit disposable. But obviously it's necessary because they want it to be historically accurate. So there's that element there. Maybe you could argue that just with one companion, they would have had more time to flesh out the side characters. I didn't find them that interesting. Mary Shelley was interesting because you knew who she was. Other than that, I wasn't overly invested in them, to be honest. Obviously, they couldn't be killed off because at the end of the day, it's got to be historically accurate. So. That's my only criticism that I could think of, really. And like I say, that's being very, very nitpicky. James Alexander. Also, there is absolutely no way all of the companions out of this series are alive. There's extreme foreshadowing. The way that Bill is kind of hinted towards in this episode, the way that she keeps on saying, look, I loved the fact at the end of in the TARDIS when she was saying, right, I'll drop you home. I almost wish that she did. I almost wish that she started flying off and they thought she was chasing after him, and they got back and it was Sheffield, and she said, right, you go. That would have been actually really good. But it worked. I like the fact that she said that. I thought she was a little bit too easily swayed, because at the end of the day, her last companion literally got turned into a Cyberman. Essentially died. Yeah, I don't know. Skinner21, when the Cybermen snapped that woman's neck, I was like, Jesus, it's Torchwood. What woman's neck? Was that the maid's neck? I don't remember it snapping her neck. I need to watch it again. Anyone else think the Timeless Children are the Rani and the Master, and the Doctor maybe Rassilon and Omega? I don't know. I don't see how the Timeless Children are going to be linked into it. I really don't. Doc_11, I also saw a bit of the Valeyard in this episode, yeah? She was on edge, and I would have loved to have 13 to drop them off, and then Jack could pick them up into the future, only to discover that 13 needs their help. That would be sick. That would actually be really good. I would like, the 9th Doctor did it, the 11th Doctor did it as well, where it just gets too dangerous and the Doctor just drops them home. I'd like that maybe in the 2-parter at some point, for the Doctor to go, no, that's it. I need to drop you guys home. You don't even know what happened the last time my friend got close to a Cyberman. Just go. That would be interesting. And then especially if Jack sort of got weaved into it, that'd be really nice, actually. Good idea. So my highlights, because there are a lot of highlights for this episode. The Cyberman reveal on the lake I thought was great. At first, you didn't really know what it was, and I saw it sparking, and I was like, that could be a Cyberman. That could be a Cyberman. And then I think one flicker, you saw the handles on its head, and I thought, oh my God, it's happening. And then it teleported into the villa, and I was like, and it was really, really good. I loved that bit. The Doctor facing up to the Cyberman. Very, very similar to in Resolution with the Dalek, but I felt like it was better. I kind of preferred the Doctor facing the Cyberman than the Dalek. She was good, and it was good. She said, I can't remember what he said. He said something to do with people in this time aren't something as primitive as I expected, and she said, you're not as cyborg as I expected. I really liked it. Russell Swift, I really enjoyed this episode, and I think it's one of the better Cyberman episodes. Yeah, I completely agree. Power King, if you could bring a companion or companions back except Jack, who would you pick? I don't know. It depends whether it's from New Who or Classic Who. From New Who, I honestly don't know. Not Clara, I think she was in it too much. Not Amy and Rory. Martha, I think, because it makes most sense. Martha, I think that'd be cool. Blenniday, I'm late to the stream, but I loved this episode. Atmospheric, but a good build-up for this episode, and the setup of the two-part finale and getting in the fundamental aspects of the certain dynamics was brilliantly done. Cyber 16, my only major issue with this is now we have to wait and hear all the moaning from the Big Finish elitists. Yeah, because Big Finish had a thing with Mary Shelley, didn't they, with the 8th Doctor. I don't think it matters that much. I mean, I'm not a massive Big Finish fan. I mean, I am. I love it. I love Big Finish, but I've not experienced that much of Big Finish, so I'm not that bothered. The show, to me, the show comes above Big Finish. Power King. In fact, I know why I hate this episode, because I love Doomsday and World Enough and Time. World Enough and Time was great, but it was just different. It was just different. I don't know. World Enough and Time is really good. I like both of them. Skinner 21, I want 13 to have a showdown with the Weeping Angels. That would be so sick for Series 13. What was my other highlights? The Doctor referring to Bill. That was such a good moment to have, because it would have felt so weird if it hadn't. The fact that the companions were so ready to go with the Doctor. She was like, no, you stay here. I can't remember what she said, but it was definitely, she was talking about Bill, and I just thought, pulling on our heartstrings. It would have felt out of place if she didn't mention that. And let's face it, she's not going to want another companion being converted, even though who knows what's going to happen. I agree that they're not all going to make it out alive. I'll be amazed if they do, because they've already had, the Cyberman's already there. So they've got 2 whole episodes with the Cybermen that anything could happen. I think at least one of them will die, and I would guess Ryan, but I could be wrong. My final highlight was when the Doctor said to the companion, does anyone want to sacrifice themselves? When they started to think, they think everything's too perfect, and they've been so used to being protected by the Doctor, and they sort of said, look, we can sort this, we can, you can't do this. And she sort of kicked off and she said, look, are any of you sacrificing yourself? Because you will die. You could die. And they were just speechless. And that's what it needed. Honestly, I can't wait to hear what all the other WhoTubers say, because a lot of people have been saying that they've needed that moment of being shocked, and I felt like that was it. Cyber 16, just saying, if you're trying to read a coherent canon into the Doctor Who universe, yeah, you're kind of doing it wrong. Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff, it all contradicts itself. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Power King, we need the Sontarans back. Haven't seen them since Series 7 or 8. Yeah, I really like the Sontarans when they're actual enemies, like Series 4. James Alexander, honestly, we've only seen 1 episode from Maxine Alderton, and I already kind of want her to be the next showrunner after Chibnall. I don't really know enough about her. I don't know anything that she's done before, so I mean, she did good in this episode. Was it co-written by Chibnall, or was it just written by her? It seemed to have a lot of story arc stuff, which I would think that maybe Chibnall could be involved. Completely agree about the Cybermen. The brutality of the lone Cyberman was so interesting and well done. This was Maxine Alderton's first episode, right? Yeah, I'd love to have her back. Completely agree. Do you reckon one of them will sacrifice themselves after that speech? No. Honestly, I don't. I can't see the Doctor wouldn't let them sacrifice themselves, but I could see the one of them being killed, not on purpose, by not sacrificing themselves. As long as Graham gets out alive, I'm fine with it. Also, your theory was that Yaz could be gay. The way she talks about the Doctor with that woman, love is in the air. I thought that was good. Yeah, it reminded me of Martha when she was talking about the Doctor. It was just Maxine Alderton. Wow, she did a good job then. That's really interesting. So yeah, they were my highlights. I really liked those bits. Angela Bennett. I was just watching EMS Productions' review of this episode, and he was also talking about one of the companions dying. So far, there's been a really good response online. That's interesting. I don't go on any sort of social media or anything after the episode before this live stream, because I like to kind of get my opinion out there. I feel like it's very easy for your opinion to be swayed. Sometimes I think an episode's great, and then I read a load of reviews or watch a load of reviews or listen to a load of reviews, and they're negative, and I think, oh, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought. But I like, for this live stream at least, for me to have my genuine opinion, my initial reaction, untampered with. Russell Swift, I read today that Tosin may be leaving, so possibly. Well, he's got that series now in America, so I think he's the most likely to leave. But I think it'd be nice to maybe just have a new companion for Series 13. As much as I feel like Yaz could have so much more done, I don't know whether it's too little too late. Skinner21, do you think Russell T Davies should return? Russell T Davies is a god, but no. And he wouldn't anyway, but if he returned and it wasn't as good, it would ruin the whole thing, so no. And I love Russell T Davies, but no. Blended A, I saw an article saying that Yaz was talking about Ryan in that scene. No, she was talking about the Doctor. Yeah, she was definitely talking about the Doctor. The Whovian with a small collection. To defeat it, the Alliance sent this thing back through time. Yeah, you're right. Captain Jack did say that, didn't he? To defeat it, the Alliance sent this thing back through time and... yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. You're right, that was the thing. Power King, my theory is now that the Doctor is the Timeless Child. Because in Series 9, Missy said that she knew since she was a little girl, yeah. Though I don't think Chris was used that because it was in the Moffat era. Yeah, I kind of agree. Tosin Cole was actually pretty good in this episode, which makes me think it's more to do with the writing than his acting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, he was pretty good in this episode. One question, guys. Why did the skeleton run around? Was that answered? I don't know. Was it? Good point. Was it something to do with the atmosphere being disturbed or something? Maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. Or was it the guy? Was it Mary Shelley's husband messing around with it? I don't know. Cyber 16. Last time a first-time writer impressed me this much. It was in The Empty Child. Dr. Dances with... oh, what's that guy's name again? It'll come to me eventually. Whatever happened to him? Yeah. I mean, she did a really good job at this episode. I've got to admit. So what were my overall thoughts? And I've got a few thoughts about the upcoming finale as well, which we can discuss. I think it was my favourite of Series 12, with Nikola Tesla being below it. It did well at getting me amped up for the finale. I feel like that is what Series 11 needed. The fact that the Series 11 finale just came out of nowhere and it wasn't really anything interesting. I like this format. The idea of Episode 8 leading into the two-part finale. Keep that for the rest of the Chibnall era. I like it. I also like sort of the mid-series finale that they had with Fugitive of the Jadoon. Good format they've got going on at the minute. Jack said he'll be there when the Doctor needs him. I would love to see him back for the two-parter. Because the Doctor needs him, realistically. It'd be great to see him come back. And I saw a thing, which is last week, the Doctor Who Twitter... released a video of Mandip Gill being like the director's assistant, trying to be the director's assistant, and someone noticed that Jack's scenes were filmed in July or June on the TARDIS, and his his excuse for sort of filming Doctor Who was that he was renovating his flat in Cardiff. That was in September. So someone said, if that's the case, if that was his cover story, then maybe it was the finale. Because I was in Cardiff in October, and they were filming the special after the series. So it could easily be that he's in the finale, and it'd be so good if he was. Oh, it'd be so good. The Whovian with a small collection. Okay, so Jack was talking about an alliance. This alliance better be a new Torchwood crew, just saying. I don't think it is, but it's an interesting theory. Also, if the alliance is a new Torchwood crew, I hope it consists of Martha and Mickey from Doctor Who, Rani and Clyde from Sarah Jane Adventures. That would be so sick if that was the case. Because they're old enough now. They're old. Like, Rani and Clyde will be, what? They must be in their mid-20s, 30s. So that would work. That'd be really good. The alliance sent back something in time. The Time Lords, says Doc_11. Could be. It could be. I mean, they did it with the little the white point star in the End of Time. Chibnall said he might bring back Torchwood. Yeah, I saw. He said that it's up to Russell T Davies, and Russell T Davies is busy, so I don't know. I'd like it, but I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think my biggest problem with this episode was that the historical cast were a bit too underused. Yeah, that was my one criticism. But Mary Shelley confronting the lone sideman was a very good scene. Yeah, that was good in the cellar. Power King, I hate that Jack came back. It is clearly for fan service. It's like they brought back Rose Tyler or K9. It's fan service. Yeah, but he's kind of like an inter-Doctor companion. It's not like Rose, because Rose was that era's companion. I feel like Jack is someone who could be in the era. He could have been in the Moffat era. He should have been in the Moffat era, in my opinion. Didn't Chibnall say it was down to Rusty Davis? Yeah, he did. I can't see it coming for a couple of years yet. I think maybe they might have Jack a little bit in Series 13, and then maybe it lead into it. Maybe, I don't know. What else have I got written down? In the trailer, the initial Series 12 trailer, the guy who was in the wrecked cyber suit was black, and the guy was white in tonight's episode, which means that we're going to see more wrecked Cybermen, are we not? Because he can't change, surely. That's something I noticed. We haven't seen that bit yet. Also, I saw a theory on Twitter that same race as Ryan. It could be Ryan in the suit, potentially. Maybe. I don't know. Power King. We need the Sarah Jane Adventures back again. It would be amazing. Just use Luke. Cyber 16. I don't think Jack will be majorly involved in the finale, but he may have a cameo appearance. Also, someone wearing an RAF trench coat was spotted around the time the Daleks on the bridge. Interesting. GD Split Dash. Are you excited for the Cyberman episodes? And I think the Lone Cyberman was a bit weird in my opinion. I really liked it, and yes, I am really excited. That's all I've got to say. To be honest, I really liked the episode. Favourite of Series 12 so far. I'm really excited for next week's episode. I think Jack's major involvement will not happen until the Daleks special. Could be. It easily could be. It could even be Series 13. It would be nice to see him in the finale though, seeing as he was in this series, and it seems a bit weird that he'd just be in there for 5 minutes. Change the human parts. We don't want them to rot. Yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm really excited for next week. I have absolutely no clue what is going to happen. I feel like it's going to be a mind-blowing episode. They've kept so many things secret, this series, that anything could happen. Literally anything could happen. I meant the time to support the Cybermen in the future, sent the Siberian back with this... Oof. I don't know. We'll see you next week. I'll see you guys next week. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, like the video, comment down below. Even if I'm not live, I always comment, so please leave a comment if you're watching this at a later date. That's everything. I will see you next week for Ascension of the Cybermen. The first part, technically the second part, but the first part of Series 12's 2-part finale. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night. If I can find the mouse. There we go. Right, I'll see you next week.